Okay, so this is what I'm about to make. Italian meatball zoodle soup. Look at the picture there. It looks so good. The name of this website is peaceloveandlowcarb.com, or you can just Google this soup. So I'm going to be making two soups. I'm going to be making my chicken vegetable soup, and then I'm going to be making this soup. So this soup is a crock pot soup. So actually I'm preparing all the ingredients tonight, and I'm going to put them in the crock pot tomorrow, and then I'm going to do my chicken soup tonight. So anyway, I've just chopped up all the ingredients here that I'm going to need for my soup. Okay, so over here I'm getting ready to make my chicken vegetable soup. I did a video on this just a few weeks ago, but I used chicken thighs in that video. In this one this is the rotisserie chicken that I made about a week ago and put it in the freezer. So I'm not going to make a ton of this soup. I'm thinking about it as I go. I think I'm only going to use one bag of this chicken. I might use a second bag of chicken. Then it's just going to be vegetables, bay leaf, ginger, turmeric, and then this is my homemade bone broth that's separating out there, but that's really just because of all the good stuff that's in there. So I'm going to also add some onions, so I'm going to saute some onions in here, and then I'm going to saute the vegetables, and then I'm just going to add in my chicken broth and the chicken. This chicken is still frozen because I forgot to take it out in advance, but it'll thaw up in the skillet. Okay, so it's late, so I don't have very much light in my kitchen. What is going on here? But I'm trying to show you, I sauteed up some onion, some celery, and then I put in the mixed vegetables. Now I'm going to pour in the bone broth, and I'm going to dilute it with some water, and then I'm going to put the chicken in there, and then the spices. Okay, so now I'm about to make the meatballs. They use beef. I purposely chose a recipe with beef since I'm already having chicken in my other soup. So here is my beef. This is 6 cloves of garlic that I've minced up. Here's some parsley that I haven't chopped up yet, so I need to do that. I'm also going to put some of this parsley in my soup. These are the spices, an egg, and those are the vegetables that I'm just going to put in the refrigerator because, like I said, I'm going to assemble this tomorrow. But I am going to make the meatballs tonight. I don't know if this is coming out clearly, but I wanted you to see how my soup is coming out. Look at that. I decided to go ahead and I only put that one packet of chicken in here. But look at that. Doesn't that look good? Oh yeah, I can't get the camera too close, but you'll see it when I divide it up into my individual containers. So the soup came out to more like a thick stew. You see that? So there are 2 servings in this container, and then there's 1 serving and 1 serving. So I divided it up into 4 servings. So now I am going to put these in the freezer, and I need to finish working on my meatballs. Okay, so here are the meatballs. I didn't do the best job making them even, but oh well. So, according to the recipe, you're just going to brown them on the outside and then you put them in the crock pot. So what I'm doing is I'm just browning them on the outside, and then I'm going to put them in the refrigerator. And like I said, I'm going to put everything in the crock pot tomorrow. Okay, so it's the next morning and I am about to assemble all the stuff that I need for this soup. So last night I cooked up the meatballs, here are the vegetables, and here is my zucchini spirals. I have another container of my chicken stock. I'm going to take the fat off of it before I put it in here. Now this recipe actually calls for beef stock. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm just using 1 container of my bone broth since it's so nutritious. It's going to add a richness to this, but then I'm going to add water and some of this better than bouillon. This is really, really good. And I used to use it before I used to make my own chicken stock. I used to use this quite often in the chicken one to make chicken broth because it was very good and very tasty. It tasted better than the chicken stock that you buy in the containers. Okay, so this is what it looks like before I turn it on. I added some extra water in there because I want this to actually be a soup, so I added more water than what the recipe calls for. So we'll see what happens here. So now I'm going to turn it on for 6 hours and I am about to start work. Okay, so now it is about 6.5 hours later and the soup, the whole house smells so good. And this, yeah, it just smells delicious. Whoops. So now I need to figure out how many servings I'm going to divide this up into. Okay, so this is the finished product. So what you're looking at here is each one of these bowls has what I'm going to call 2 servings of soup for me. So I'm going to freeze these. I fished all the meatballs out because I'm going to freeze these separately. So I weighed out a few of the meatballs and it looks like about 3 meatballs is like 2.1 to 2.4 ounces, something like that. So what a serving is going to be, sorry, I thought my camera wasn't recording. I'm going to have 3 meatballs and then half of one of these bowls. So these bowls are going to last me for 4 days. These are for my friend. She's going to get a lot of soup and she's only going to get 3 meatballs per her bowl of soup because I really need my meatballs for my protein and she can eat something else, but she's going through a hard time, so I am going to give her this delicious soup with my bone broth in it, so maybe that's going to help her out. But yeah, so all of this is going into the freezer and now I am all set for when I get back home from Vegas.